Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And today, we are diving into the much anticipated Dark Knight's death metal, The Secret Origin. Now, for all of those who have been asking questions on where Superboy Prime is, what is he doing in all of this? This is our answer to that. Now, this issue picks up a little bit before the arrival of Wonder Woman after she had turned golden and pretty much godlike, infusing herself with crisis energy. Now, if you guys have not been keeping up with death metal, go ahead and check out the playlist. It's in my description. It's at the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything death metal related. And you're not going to want to miss out because this is really starting to turn into a huge event that's going to change the DC landscape as we know it. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So this issue brings us to Earth Prime 1984. And we have Superboy Prime reading all of his favorite comics, specifically Superman. And most of us know this story. He's a kid who wants to be Superman, who wants to have superpowers, who gets bullied and picked on, and just wishes that he could live in those comic books. But this is also a love story. A love story about the individual that Clark Kent, Superboy Prime, had fallen in love with. And that's Lori. Now, Lori had been his best friend, and they literally grew up together. And about a year into their relationship, on Halloween, they go out dressed up, and he's dressed as Superman, and she's dressed as one of Superman's girlfriends from comics back in the day, named Lori the Mermaid. And as they walk along the beach, we see Superboy Prime try to fly. And he jumps and falls. They see the comet, he wishes upon it, and he's able to start flying. But the problem is, from that day on, he never saw Lori again. And he blamed Superman because of that. He ran into Superman. He knew about the multiverse. He knew about all of this. And he ended up fighting in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And after that event, Lori had pretty much been wiped from existence. His friends, his parents, everybody gone. He had tried to come to terms with all of this, but he was never really able to do so. He became a monster. He became somebody that he didn't ever want to be. And that brings us to today. And Superboy Prime is feeling relatively itchy to get a one-on-one with the Batman Who Laughs. Because the way Superboy Prime sees it is he's just another villain. Another one who wants to remake the entire multiverse in their image. You know, it's the same story played over and over and over again. This one's just like a jumbled up greatest and worst hits album. But there's also the issue with everybody else not really scared, but hesitant to have Superboy Prime here. You know, he's a guy that really did do some damage. And so everybody's just like, why is he here? And he can hear this, obviously, and he sits down on a rock and puts out a sigh. Like, you know, what can he do? He's here to try to help and do the right thing, regardless of how everybody feels or how everybody's gonna treat him. And this is when Crypto comes up to him, and Superboy Prime, obviously being, you know, standoffish, but Crypto doesn't have it and, you know, really makes Superboy Prime give in. And he starts petting him and, you know, they're really having a kind of a moment here. And this is when Connor jumps in and just freaks out because he's touching him. And they almost go toe to toe. But this is when we see the arrival of all the Dark Supermen. And just like that, the battle begins. And Superboy Prime is laying waste to some of these Supermen. But this is when he gets an image of something. And it makes him fly out of the battlefield and up into space. And this is where he sees, just outside of Earth's orbit, the last 52 worlds all lined up. The worlds that were created bad to destroy everything and everyone. And so Superboy Prime questions, can he use them? Can he change them if he kills the one who laughs? And this is where Superboy Prime takes on the Batman Who Laughs. and they go toe to toe. And as he's breaking through what seem to be realities, he sees where Lori is alive, where everyone he loves is alive, and he wants that. And so now he's driven by that desire, and the way he thinks he's gonna get it is by killing the one who laughs. And you can see the pure anger in Superboy Prime's face, and he's literally telling him just like, I want you to laugh, like laugh for me, as I literally cave in your skull and I punch you into planets and cause these planets to explode. And the one who laughs tries saying, you know, me and you are a lot alike if you really look at it. And this only infuriates him more because at the end of the day, Superboy Prime only wants to do the right thing. And then the one who laughs tells him that he's gonna kill him. And Superboy Prime is just done and beats the crap out of him. And then we see a giant explosion. And the one who laughs is on the ground, taken down. Seemingly, Superboy Prime has won this fight. And in this moment, he can feel his power. He can feel the ability to take it. And he goes to smite him down with all the hate within him. And this is when he hears from behind him Crypto. And Crypto just comes up and puts his head underneath his hand and just grounds him. And this is where Superboy Prime has finally let go. He's let go of the possibility of seeing the people he loves again, of rebuilding his Earth, of remaking everything that he knows, of having heroes that he would want to look up to. Because at the end of the day, these are going to be worlds without his parents. They're not going to be Lori. They're not going to be his parents. They're just going to be copies of anything. And he tells Crypto to go, closes his fist, and punches the one who laughs, shattering yet another reality as Superboy Prime falls from the sky, and everyone wondering what happened as all the planets are starting to turn red, and Crypto howling over Superboy Prime's what seems to be possibly dead or at least unconscious body. And this is where we pick up on Prime. And Clark Kent is reading the story of Superboy Prime getting taken down. After taking down the one who laughs, he is reading the secret origin. And in utter confusion, has no idea what's going on. But this is when Lori walks in the room, along with Crypto as well. And at first he thought, you know, this can't be real. Maybe I died. Maybe it was a trick. But he is starting to believe that he's really back. And regardless, it doesn't matter to him. Because now he's back with Lori, with the people he loves. Walking down the street, walking the dog. And while they're enjoying this time, a boy goes and chases after a ball in the road. And a car almost hits the child. This is when Clark runs out there and lifts the car up. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, it's definitely more to the story of Superboy Prime that we haven't got before, at least not to my knowledge. You know, this could just be the story untold. I can't believe that Superboy Prime would be dead. It just doesn't seem feasible in the current way that they were writing this. It really seems like he's going to have a redemption arc coming up in the next couple issues, which might be really interesting because we might get to see some really interesting things with Superboy Prime, maybe even his own run, who knows. But all in all, I have to say I really did like this issue, and we all have been waiting on it for such a long time because Superboy Prime has really been sitting there unused for most of this event, which is really unfortunate. And even if they did really give him his own event, his own comic in the event, they really should have utilized him in much different ways, in my opinion at least. Now with that being said, the artwork was absolutely phenomenal. I love all of it, and I really did have a feeling that Superboy Prime was going to be able to take on the one who laughs without much issue or difficulty. Now in the next issue, which will be Dark Knight's Death Metal issue number 7, I believe it will be concluding this entire event finally, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing with Wonder Woman and how this is all going to be moving forward. But yeah, if you guys have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and until the next video,